Hello and welcome to the MShots website. I realized that I never really gave any firm instructions on how to install MShots and as to how you might use it since it is a Java file. I decided to do a little video and see if we could clear up some of that. First of all, MShots is a Java file, and you can tell that because it ends in the extension JAR, which is a jar file and requires Java to run it. Now, what is Java? Java is actually a computer programming language, and developers use this because they can write an application once and it can run on any type of software or any kind of operating system. The reason for this is the Java virtual machine. Each type of device has its own Java machine. So when you write the program, it talks to a Java machine regardless of whatever device you're on. So it's kind of like calling for pizza. If you want a pizza, you make a phone call to the pizza place. The guy there has pizzas. He makes the pizza and he brings it out to you. Well, the Java virtual machine works the same way. Your computer makes a call to the Java virtual machine. It goes into your computer operating system, gets the data that you want, and relays it back to your application. And this is just a graphic demonstrating that the Java virtual machine will run on any operating system, and therefore if you write an application for it, it'll run on any operating system that can support a Java virtual machine. And that is what MShots is. It is a Java application that can basically run on any operating system. So how do we find out if you already have Java installed on your computer? Now, I'm running Linux today. This is Ubuntu with a Windows 11 shell. I'm going to open up a terminal window, which on Linux is Control-T, and what you would do is you would type java-version. And it gives you 3 lines of printout here that shows that I'm running 17, which is the most recent version of Java on this machine. And I wrote MShots with this in place, but I did target it for Java 8 and above. Now, in truth, I have not tested it on a version 8 machine. I don't have any version 8 machines running, so I have not tested it in that environment, but theoretically, it should run on any of those systems. So suppose you don't have Linux. How do you check if you have Java installed? Well, on a Windows computer, you go to the command prompt on the lower left-hand corner and actually type in there command prompt. It'll bring up a little black window. You click on that button and it opens up into what just looked like the same as the Linux terminal. You type java-version and it relays it. Suppose you have a Mac, you go to the top bar and press the magnifying glass for Spotlight and type in terminal and hit enter, and it brings up the terminal and you type java-version. And this should tell you if your computer has it. If there is no Java, it'll just return an empty command prompt with no 3 lines. So suppose you don't have Java, where do you go? On my website for MShots, and I'll put the link below, I have a tab that says download the current version of Java. It defaults to the Windows page here, and typically if you're a Windows user, and probably most of you are, you're going to want the one that ends in exe. This means that this will be an executable installation file for Java. You'll download this and it is safe. Windows may say, do you realize this is an executable file? You can say yes and go ahead and download it. Now, typically this would go into your download folder on your hard drive. You'd open up your file explorer, go to downloads, and double click this icon for the file you just downloaded, and it should install it onto your computer. If you're a Mac user, most likely you're going to want this one that's on the bottom that is a 64-bit DMG file. This is a typical Mac installation file, and again, you're going to download it, double click it, and it'll install Java. If you're a Linux user, you have to know what flavor of Linux you have. I'm currently running Ubuntu on this machine, which is a Debian variant. I would want the one that ends in .deb. But depending on which version of Linux you have, like RPM is the old format for Red Hat, you're going to want to know which one of these that you want. Okay, so now that we have that all straightened out, what do you do next? Well, to get the file, the program is actually a single click on this icon here, and it should download the file to your computer. It'll download mshots.jar. It's a very small file, and once this is downloaded, you may be prompted once again to allow it to download since it is an executable file, but it'll download, and wherever it goes, you find that directory. And if you're running Windows or Mac, you just double click and it will automatically start to launch. If you're running Linux, it's a little bit different. You actually have to go to the directory where MShots lives, and you would open a terminal window, and here you would type java-jar-mshots.jar and hit enter, and the program will start to launch. And you can see here that once you've done that, it should run as seamlessly as it runs on any other environment, and it'll load your data file that you've downloaded from Mantis. Once you exit the program, it'll return you to the command prompt, and to get out of terminal, you can exit that any way that you wish. And that's about it. I would love to hear from you. If you have any comments, criticisms, or compliments, you can reach me either through my website here or on YouTube. Thanks very much for participating with MShots.